wake up to the same old fight, chasing shadows in the night. Promises made, but I let them fade. Caught in the cycle, I'm feeling betrayed. Round and round, I'm losing ground. Trying to break free, but I can't see. These negative patterns are haunting me. Nights turn to days, I'm losing my way. Thought I found peace, but it's led me astray. Chasing the high, but it only brings pain. The more I run, the less I gain.
Hey everybody, hey, you are in the office with Tarika Say It Again. And today we have a special guest in the office with us today. He is one of Central Florida's top promoters. Yes, been in the game for years. I'm turning it over to him.
What's going on? You already know how we do it, you know. I humble yourself, Tarika.
And you know what? I didn't even say his name because I felt like the title was just enough.
They already know who I am.
Ooh, okay.
If you don't know, Mr. Dollar Making Expert, you know. So what we doing?
Listen, I wanted to invite you into the office, get one of these sessions in.
Humble yourself.
Okay, well, I definitely appreciate you accepting. And we just want to talk to the people, let them know your journey, when it started, how it started. Yeah. Let them know the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, it wasn't always good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, we can start with discussing some of the things that you do here in our city, in our community.
In the community-wise, I got a thing called a company called Peace and Hood.
Mm-hmm.
When we do the turkey drive, we do the back to school drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go around, we paint people's houses on over there in Paramount area.
Wow.
Across town. That's where I'm originated from. You know,
okay, so you grew up in over in Paramount. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so much stuff.
That you can't.
It's so much stuff we done. We'll be here 2 days.
Okay.
So I kind of nip it in the bud for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we try to do a lot of things for the community. You know, we deal when the city needs us. You know?
Right. Just giving back.
Just giving back.
Because I guess you would say somebody did that for you, right?
Exactly.
And growing up. So it's only right to give back to the exactly. Yeah. So in addition to giving back to the community, I know you have a lot going on just as a promoter. You have the celebrity, the big car show annually going on.
I'm not really a promoter.
Okay. Correct me.
I'm not really a promoter anymore. But I do promote. Because that's one, you're talking about the Ryan Big Car Show. Classic Weekend.
Okay.
It was AKA Dogman Weekend, right?
Okay.
They just recently gave me the keys to the city.
I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you, Orlando.
Okay.
But what I have done, I kind of passed that torch to the younger guys. I mean, that's still mine on the table. Don't get me wrong that weekend, but I consider myself more like an entrepreneur right now. You know, we buying dirt, trying to build some houses, some complexes. You know what I'm saying? We got several businesses we running, we getting ready to put together an investment group. Okay. For the younger black males and try to go over there because across town they got a lot of buildings for sale. And the more country boys gonna come in here and buy it all up and gentrify our neighborhood. So that's what we aiming for now. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong, I'll put my boots on in a minute if it's something to get that paper.
Exactly. That's part of the hustle.
That's why I bought a venue.
Gotcha.
Because now, like I say, I consider myself as the distributor. They can come spend money with me. You know what I'm saying? Just like they used to hand it down, Now we the venue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the concerts come through us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And when you say the venue, are you talking about your the experience?
Yeah, experience live.
Okay.
Hold 3,500. 30,000 square feet.
That's big.
We just did an addition and added content room at the bottom. We're going to try to talk to corporate, your team, try to get your guys over there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's also in the making.
Okay, and we can't forget the restaurant, Blue.
Of course.
Yes.
Blue America, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and listen, the chicken and waffles, what is it, the lobster and the grits, those dishes.
Yeah.
They're tasty.
Salmon bites to die for.
Yes.
We trying to do a part too. But the restaurant game, I'm kind of I'm new in it. So
Okay.
I was told don't try to move until like the second year. So we going on. We had it for like a year and a couple of months. The second year I want to move to Tampa, have a second location.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did jump out there and I tried to do Daytona, Orlando. The Daytona didn't work because it is tedious. You have to kind of babysit it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of let the Daytona one go at the same time because I couldn't watch it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. And you bringing up an important part of just being a business owner. You have to be strategic when you're making your moves, and you want to have somebody that's able to oversee, every move you make, if not yourself, somebody that you hold, that's accountable and trustworthy.
Right.
Correct, exactly.
Because they ain't nobody going to do it like you. Before you know it, their cost of good would be crazy. They going to go in and eat up all the food. His homework coming in there. And I learned you can't go into partnership with just anybody.
Right.
It's just like a marriage.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, you've been listening, or you just know it to be true. Because I always refer to as relationship. We should look at them as a business, relationship, a partnership. Yeah. Exactly. Because how you move is for the better good of the business, right? You want to communicate, making sure everybody on the same page. Like that's the whole marriage.
If you don't, it's the whole marriage, dog.
Exactly.
And if y'all on two different pages, it ain't gonna work.
Exactly.
Same thing like you said, the marriage. You're on two different pages, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
And I learned that. So a lot of things I had to kind of wash my hand with because, your partner might want one thing, you might want another. You know what I'm saying? Same thing.
Got to come to some kind of common ground.
So
exactly.
I just, I take the long way. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I think the long way is good because I also talk about like how you have something where I talk about laziness and how it pays off right now, but that hard work, that's what pays off later. Right. That's the longevity. That's that long term, Like you say, you will take the loss, as long as it's steady,
steady, you know what I'm saying? And coming up and ain't always been steady. You gotta, you gotta lose to win. So that's all right. That's just a part of mine. How it goes. So.
Well, I did hear you mention early on as far as the men, involving the men in your setup when you were saying with buying the houses, including the men. Yeah, I heard the men in there.
No. When I say men, it also can be one man.
Okay. So mankind, like mankind, a man or woman.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, what I was doing is like 85% black.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna put a Spanish in there. It don't really matter. We're not discriminating. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If she buy that life and ready to get some paper, it could be a woman as well. I say men because we don't do it as when I looked at it, I'm like, damn, we don't, it ain't no investment group here that we can put together. You know what I'm saying? When you talk to them, they're gonna be from Texas, Cali, Hollywood, and they probably on the other side. And then I did see one. They had a brother on there. He was a lawyer in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about us.
Right, I get it. And I'm glad that you breaking that down and you would explaining it because you might have somebody that hear it and they automatically assume that you're going to look outside of Central Florida, whatever the case is, and that's good that you want to include your own. Long as they ready. They don't want to be a hater. They want to be a part of the team.
They gotta be,
Because I'm sure you've gotten that a lot, just being in the city and doing your thing. You know what I mean?
That's what's wrong with us. Nobody, I guess, don't nobody want to work together. Everybody in competition. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get in that same lane, they become your competition. Like right now, you probably gonna have a lot of friends. Soon they find out you got a podcast. She got a podcast. Y'all probably ain't gonna speak as much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that happened, but we the only culture that do that.
Hate on our own culture versus looking and learning from the other.
Right. Just be like, you know what? Boom, let's collab on something. Let's take your podcast, put my podcast together. But they don't do that. They be like, no, she got a podcast. He a promoter now. So soon, all like it happened in the promoter game. That's why I don't even like that tag.
I got you.
So when I was promoting, a lot of the guys, I've been doing it. I can say this. I've been doing it probably the longest. The cats that was doing it before me was Frontline and 8 Ball Production, and I always give them their flowers and props because I
remember Frontline growing up as a teen.
Right, Frontline did it before me, and they did a lot of things that I saw them do. They had the restaurant club downtown. You know what I'm saying? They had a club out there. To me, that was big. You know, I'm like, damn, they got their own shit. You know, oh my bad,
you good?
Okay, you know, they got their own thing going on. So I watched that. 8 Ball was before them. See what I'm saying? So 8 Ball came from it. They looked like me. See what I'm saying? Pat and them looked at corporate. You know what I'm saying? But 8 Ball and them looked like me. So I kind of put them together. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And, you know, I feel like there's no limit. You can do whatever you want. Put your mind to it. You know?
Exactly. And I like how you're paying homage or you're referencing those before you, you know, and how you got whatever from them, you learn from them. And I'm sure that's what you're doing for the next generation, pouring back into them.
Pour back into them, they just gotta learn how to receive it. They don't it's just I don't know what happened with that last generation. It's a little different. So we gotta do it a little different, you know what I'm saying? Right. So a lot of them just take it and they'll forget. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course they took my blueprint because we took it. Like I said, I took Frontline, 8 Ball. I used to watch them. You know, Frontline was more grown and sexy to me, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and then 8 Ball was more hood. You know what I'm saying? But they both, you know, the same. They were going for the same goal, is to, you know, to sell space, that kind of club.
Right.
So when you watch both of them, when I used to watch 8 Ball, they brought a lot of concert. Frontline wasn't bringing concert. Okay. So I leaned more to the 8 Ball side. I didn't really know those guys, which I know them now really well. But I didn't know them at the time. They just had all the cars and everything, looked good. And whoever they wanted to bring, they bring.
Right, right.
So, you know, that's where I get it from. I'm like, you know, fuck it. I like that art. I think I was going to do it. Boom. And then, you know, we took a little bit from Frontline. I took the business side from them because they used to, him and Willie, when I used to meet with them, I liked the way they had their little sisters, everything. That was good. I seen some black guys running some business, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they fell apart.
And they look just like you.
Or they look just like me. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I always had a studio at the time. So I still had the business ethic, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Just like my lawyer partner now, I watch those guys. That's why I want to put the investment group together. I feel like we can go get us a skyscraper.
That sounds big.
Yeah.
Investment group.
They can do it though. I know we can do it. Because you could take, you know, right now you put all your money, everybody, it ain't nothing like us. It ain't nothing like on the street when they chip on, you know what I'm saying? When you first come out, let's chip on it and we're going to flip it and do this. It's the same thing versus you getting into the business side. Hey, bro, let's put our money together for this show.
So it sounds like you use some of those same ethics that you learned when you were younger, as you say, a jit from the hustle, and you utilizing them with more
business.
Professional.
It's the same thing. It's a numbers game. You know, they might tell us it's a little numbers game. They might say, man, okay, they selling that whole building over there for like $3 million. You know what I'm saying? So then we say, look, everybody let's put some money together. We came up with $1 million liquid cash, and then we go to the bank. So we still need that. The dude that come to the table with the investment group, he might have the smarts. So I know how to get us the loan, and then the other folk can have the cash. But he still helped us get to right there to us getting right here. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna need him to show us how to build that skyscraper. Go get all the, you know what I'm saying? And now we rolling. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, eventually everybody gonna learn it.
Right.
But it can be, you know, they just gotta be ready.
And you want everybody to bring something to the table that's a little different. Right. You know, even though one person might be able to do what the other person do, but that person might do it a little better. You don't want all the same trades or the same.
You're gonna bump heads.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You're right. We need to, kind of have a little
diversify.
Yeah, he might know about. He might say, "Man, I know how to go get the. I'm gonna get the loan. You guys go. You know, you got the GC guy on the log. You know what I'm saying? But we build a team. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're working on right now.
Teamwork make the dream work. Exactly.
Yeah. And we're gonna throw it. You know, We ain't scared to have a couple of you ladies in them. So
yeah, don't forget.
I know you can go. I know you can flip that mattress and come on over here with us. So.
Don't forget to keep me posted.
We got you. We got you.
So, in just listening to your story, seemed like hustle, that's what keeps popping up at me, right?
Right.
And when we say hustle, like, definition wise, like thinking about hustle, it could be like hurriedly, right? Like hurrying up and doing something. Right. But hustle, a lot of times people look at it as something bad, right? In a negative way. Right. But, like a fraudulent activity.
Right. They think hustle always means he hustle, but it's in you. Right. Not on you. Right. It's a hustle. It's a hustle you doing right now. Right. And it's legit. Right. See what I'm saying? Right. You're going to monetize this thing and then start making money off of it. Exactly. Don't hate the player. You hate the game. Right. Now you get it's a hustle. Right. All you did, guess what? You one lady, you got up this morning. You fed your food, took the dog back there, cut your candle on. Some people, they ain't even got the time. Right. And you learning that, hey, let me jump on this social media shit and make me some paper. That's just a hustle. It's the same thing when people used to say hustle back in the days. Hustle can go both ways. You could be in the streets, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing. Or you could, you had boosters that go steal clothes, you know what I'm saying? They always made it bad, but Wall Street always hustle. Right. When they wake up, you seen that movie? Wall Street. Watch it. Okay. When they clock in, nigga, they on hustle mode. Okay. Everybody in there on hustle mode. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And they was doing a lot of bullshit. If you don't pull it off. So right. It's the same thing. And that's what I wanted to point out, because you can look at it like we just said, positive or negative. And that takes me back to my book, Addictive Patterns. Right. That no matter what it is, like you can't escape it. It's either gonna be one or the other. Good, bad, positive, negative, whatever the case is. And I did want to point out when we talk about hustle, because take Elon Musk, we know that's a business mogul, right? He got Tesla, he got Open the AI, he has SpaceX, and he's a billionaire. With a couple of robots. Right. And I heard him say, quote, that it's a hustle. So, like you mentioned, that people looked at it as something negative, but no. Right. Exactly. I know that, we took the word. Once we get a hold to a word, we kind of stamp it. Yeah. Like, it don't mean, like, always bad. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Trump, the president, y'all new president, he hustling right now. He is. And he told everybody, they huddled up and said, look, it ain't finna be no more TikTok. He hustled and said, look, let me make myself look good and make like I can get them a couple of more days. That's a hustle. Mm-hmm. He negotiated. He hustled. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Good point. He hustled. It's a hustle. It ain't always bad. It ain't like you got to be running to a car selling dope or doing your thing or scamming. It's just a hustle. That word was there before. We was there. Right. They just made it. They tried to make it. Right. So, and just thinking about that in your upbringing, did you ever dibble and dab into the hustle, the other side of the good? Like, was that a thing that you saw in the streets, being that you came from Paramore and the stigma, right? And it ain't just Paramore, Pine Hills, College Shores, So is that something? I mean, I plead the fifth. We did our, it's like you want to say. I want to say hustle. It was a grind. Right. It's something that's cross town. Either you gonna eat or be eaten. You know what I'm saying? So some niggas took the robbing direction. Some niggas took the streets. Mm-hmm. It just, you got to take it and know how to get up out of it. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, no, I wasn't never no good guy. Like you asked me earlier, was I brought up with a silver spoon, and I told you it was a plastic spoon. A plastic spoon. It wasn't even from the shit. Wasn't even from Winn-Dixie. It was from motherfucking Family Dollar. Oh, okay, so you had to, you got to eat what you kill. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, let's say I graduated from School of Hard Knocks. That's the cleanest way to say it. You see what I'm saying? And you got a testimony. Right. Like, I appreciate your transparency, right? Because they can always teach somebody else, right? Yeah. Because we talk about, like, that's the purpose or the mission, behind this podcast, talking about those things that most people that, don't want to talk about. Right. So the transparency, I definitely appreciate that. And the fact that
you grew from that. You developed. You made something out of it, right? You didn't just conform to your environment, because we know that happens a lot with individuals, you know?
And I wouldn't even say lucky, because, you know, sometimes it's only two ways. You know what I'm saying? Dead or jail. I would say blessed. He already he already know where he gonna put you. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, I got a bunch of homeboys that either fucked up right now. You know what I'm saying? And shit, probably still gotta motherfucking do what they gotta do.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know? But it's just a way of life, you know. And it's just like dancing. Scribbles. It's the same concept. They be like, well, I'm gonna dance. Stay for school. I'm gonna do this. As soon as I get XYZ, sometimes you get caught up in it. They don't know how to shake it.
Get out of it, yeah.
Right. It's just like the streets. Some shit comes so easy and fast. You don't know how to get their way to the tragedy. You know what I'm saying? And then you just be like, fuck. Sometimes it be too late. You know what I'm saying? To get up out of it. Like, take the beat, me, do, he got bam. He had to do a lot of time, but he can still turn it into something great. Right. Because now, like, he like a legend to all the street niggas. Okay. I mean, 50 Cent kind of fucking him up a little bit right now because he's saying he's a rat. Okay. But we don't know the truth to it. And I don't even think niggas give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of the niggas that sold dope. And if you look at it, he still ain't win because he did about 20 years. And if he did till his calculator was broke, because you know what I'm saying? You ain't like you did 3 years, so I'm hoping it ain't true. But he one of the ones that when he get that pass, like he made it out. Right. See what I'm saying? Right. He kind of made it out. That's how a lot of I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Like all the rappers right now, they probably doing that show that he's doing. They doing that shit for free. Right. Because he was a legend. Right. The BMF, he one of the ones. It's like a dream. Right. Like, damn, that nigga did sold all this dope. He made it all. He had the cars, the women, and he made it out. But he really didn't make it out because he got fucked up. But he still got a chance to flip it, turn it into a movie and shit like that. Right. Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's just the mess that sometimes people find themselves in, being able to take that mess and use it as a message for others to learn from, or, to tell your story. Right. And I feel that's liberating. You know what I mean? To go through something and to see yourself make it out, that's it's liberating. Good. Right. So it's always good because I could tell, like, we got stories. Like, that's why I say we're blessed. Like, we were there. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell, I could tell the next young dude, look, bro, don't go down that alley. There's some dogs down there. Right. But will they listen? They want to get bit. Right. Because they're hard-headed. We say experience is the best teacher. Right. They make it sound fast. Right. They going down there. Exactly. But you tell a nigga like us, nah, I ain't going. Right. One is dog, and they said the dog down there. Let me try this route. Jit and I'm going to go down there. Right. They going down there. You got some that's going to listen and turn and go the other way. You got some that's they going to test it out. Yeah, they just test it out. They going to test it out. They always, the new nigga, they got something else to say with it. I want to go down there because such and such. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's a dog. I just told you. Big dog down there. And he gonna bite the shit out you. It's the what if. But they saying, curiosity. What if he chained up this time? Because they trying to skip the scrubber. They saying, if I go this way, it's the long way. If I go down there, I know it's a dog down there. But if I can just inch that way, the chain might stop him. Right. And that's the chance they take. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I like that example, that analogy. Oh my gosh. It ain't the same no more because they got authentic drugs, and nowadays they more own the drugs than selling it. So they ain't thinking right anyway. So then the next morning we hear, Jit went down there. She got fucked up. You're like, damn. What the hell talk with Jit? I told him. But like I say, he thinking that chain, I can scoop by him. Because it's right there. You see what I'm saying? Why the fuck I'm going to go where I can go? I'm telling you, I can clear. And that's what they be thinking. You know what I'm saying? So they don't be meaning no harm. Told the kids. You just got to kind of like stay in their ear. You got to stay in their ear. You got to stay in their ear. Right. Like the iPod, like whatever you think y'all be. Yeah, AirPods. So that would be my final. Because we've been talking about, the generation, right? What would be
your final word, what would be your advice that you would give to the younger generation that's coming up today, no matter what their hustle is that they want to pursue? Hopefully it's something positive, but no matter what it is, like, what would you tell them? I mean, it depends what it depends what they ask me. I think my neutral one would be to like just plan, because I notice don't nobody have a plan. Mm-hmm. Whether it's good or bad. So if he's saying, well, you know what I'm saying, I want to do a food truck. So you still got to have a plan. Mm-hmm. So you got to be like, when I get the food truck, where I'm going to set up at, right? Mm-hmm. How I'm going to get the food. And if you do want to build a nugget here, you want to go the other route, you got to have a plan. Because some of them, they running these banks, they don't have a plan. You ain't think Miss Tammy gonna buck you. Right. She told you, boy, put that gun up. Right. You go back home. Now you stuck. Mm-hmm. And now you forced to try to do some dumb shit. Because then you gotta be like, man, what's the plan? Mm-hmm. Just it don't go right. 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 You finna do 100 years. Mm-hmm. So I think they just need to plan, you know, their situation and be patient. You know what I'm saying? They anxious, they just gotta be patient. You know what I'm saying? So really it just depends on, you know, who it is nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because the message can be in the message. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So. Well, you heard it straight from Dog Man himself. Yeah. He's telling you all you need to have a plan of action. Other words, a business plan. No matter how big, how small, have a plan of action. That's right. You gotta have a plan. Exactly. If you ain't got a plan, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got yourself nothing. All right. Well, I appreciate you all tuning into the office for another session. But Tarika said again, please check us out on addictivepatterns.com, our website. Follow us on Addictive Patterns from Instagram. And please like and subscribe. YouTube or Spotify. That's all right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.